Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another video of Saute with the Java. I'm your host and a certified pastry chef, Dushan Java. Today I bring to you an exciting recipe. It's a savory recipe for a change. But before we head there, firstly I would like to thank everyone for all the love and all the comments that you have been pouring on to my videos. If you happen to make any of my recipes at home, do head to my Instagram channel, which has the handle as dush_java, and do tag me on the Insta story so that I can see that you have prepared something really beautiful out of the recipes I post. So today's recipe is a type of pasta. It's a filled pasta called ravioli. It has a lot of variations, different fillings, different outer textures, shapes, sizes, you name it, it's completely different. So today we will be making eggless pasta and we're going to fill it with ricotta and spinach. So let's head to the recipe, but as usual, wait till the end of the video to know today's tip. For this recipe we'll require 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of fine semolina, around 1 medium bunch or say 1.5 to 2 cups of chopped spinach, 2 spoons of Italian herbs, salt and pepper as per taste, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, half a cup of ricotta cheese. This is homemade ricotta, you can use market ones as well. And also we'll require around 250 ml of water, or I am using the whey which I got from this ricotta. So this is the water that's left out from the milk, so I'm using this one. You can use regular water as well. So let's begin. Very first step, we'll be blanching our spinach, which is already washed and chopped, and we'll be blanching it in boiling hot water. After dipping the spinach in hot water for a few minutes, we will dip it into the cold water. Been in there for 2 minutes. Now I will carefully remove it from the hot pot and quickly put it into the cold one. This process helps retaining the green color of the spinach. So you would want to drain all the excess water out of the spinach and press it out a bit so that all the excess water is out and you don't have any water left in the spinach. We just want the flavor and not the hydration from the spinach. So I'll just set it aside. Next, for the dough, we will take our all-purpose flour and our semolina. You would want to mix it well. You can also do this in a bowl, but traditional methods are usually on the countertop. So I'm just mixing it well. So next I'll be incorporating either the water or the whey that's left out from the cheese, whatever you prefer. I'll be incorporating it at intervals. You need to make a very nice and firm dough out of this. So when you see that your dough has started getting together very well and everything has been incorporated, add in the oil. My dough is still a bit firm, so I would be adding a little bit of the water or the whey which is left. I have not used complete 250 ml as of now. So I've used 200 ml of the whey, so that was enough for my dough, and it's not pliable and it's not too soft. As you can see, it can hold its shape. So this is a firm dough which we are going to keep in a bowl. So I'll just place it in a bowl. So we'll just cover it with a damp cloth and we'll leave it for around 30 to 45 minutes and then we'll work on it. So we just keep it aside. Now for the filling, I have taken my homemade ricotta cheese. You can use a market bought one as well. I'm going to add in all the spinach that I have here. I've tried to remove the excess water as much as possible. The little water is still okay. We would require it to actually mix the cheese and the spinach. So now, just as simple as mixing these two, we would keep crushing and mixing them. You can even use a masher, whatever you want. It's okay, you can do it with hands as well if your hands are clean. Now I will season this mixture with salt and pepper. This is as per your taste, as everyone's taste buds are different. So upon you how much ever you want to add. Also, even with the Italian seasoning or the oregano, whatever you're using, this is very optional. Some people don't add any flavorings to their ravioli fillings at all, but we prefer to add, so I am adding around 1 spoon at the moment. You can add more or less, it's totally upon how you want to flavor your ravioli. It's been mixed and now I shall keep it aside. Just a heads up to everyone that I am showing this recipe only for making the ravioli. The sauce can be anything that you prefer. Usually with this ravioli, Alfredo sauce would go very well, but it's totally upon you, as some people love it in red arrabbiata sauce as well. So this recipe is just going to show how the ravioli pasta is made. So it's been 45 minutes for this dough to rest. Now I'll pull it out on a kitchen counter. And I will knead this a bit. At this stage you will notice that the semolina has soaked in a lot of water and it's gotten much softer and the dough is very pliable. Just knead it for a few minutes until you feel that it's become nice and stretchy again. At this stage of the dough, we'll need a few requirements. Firstly, we'll require some all-purpose flour just for dusting our platform. We would also require some milk to brush, and that will be used to join the ends of the ravioli. And also we would put up a big saucepan with a lot of water, or you can take any pan, deep pan which you have. You can add in enough water for us to boil the ravioli once we have already made them. So let's begin with rolling out our raviolis. First things first, we will dust our complete platform with enough flour. And we shall take our rolling pin and our dough. Now you need not use all your dough at once, you can just take it in parts. So I'm just taking 1/3 of it and leaving the rest aside. Roll your rolling pin a little bit of the all-purpose flour and start rolling your pasta. If you have a pasta sheeter, that'll be the best, but if not, then you can just generally roll it like how it's going here. Okay, so as you can see, I've rolled it to this thickness. If you can notice, it's like almost 2 to 3 mm thickness. If you can, especially if you're using a pasta sheeter, you can go a little thinner, but since this is rolled, I don't want to make it too thin such that my pasta starts tearing. So I'm just going to leave it to a 2 mm thickness. I think that should be pitch perfect. As you can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, but I can see opaquely my fingers when I'm holding, but the dough is not tearing. So this is the right thickness that you require. Now what are we gonna do is, you can either use a cutter, or I'm just using a rolling knife, and I'm going to cut these into strips. So first I'll just square this out a bit. And there we have it, square. Okay, put the rest aside, you can use it again. Now try to get as many equal with raviolis as you can out of this. If you make a mistake, it's all right, it's totally okay. And now I will go this way. The best would be to use a round cutter or any cutter that you have, so that you have the same size raviolis, but if not, this is also completely okay. So now I'm going to take these and keep them aside. Be sure that you have dusted the platform pretty well so that these don't stick. As you can see, they're not sticking at all. Now I'll take 2 similar sized pieces. It need not be the same, it's completely okay. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to take our filling, take a little filling and something like this much, place it into the ravioli, place one on the top, use a little bit of milk on the edges or the corners. You don't need a lot, it usually sticks on its own, but this is just a precaution that we don't have loose raviolis. And if you want, either you can use this or you can use a fork, totally upon you, just to make the edges flat. And our ravioli is totally ready to boil. So as you can see, the filling is nice enough. If you want, you can even cut off the excess edges and reuse them. Like you can just cut these, make them even. It's upon you how you want to portray your pasta. If you want to give it a rough and rugged look, you can just leave it as it is. If you want to give it a nice and elegant look, which is usually how Italian food is, then I would suggest you cut it into a nice form. Use a fork, you can use whatever, you can use even a toothpick to do the design. Totally up on you. So that way I'll be doing all the pastas, and then we'll see how it's done tomorrow. Awesome. So as you can see, I have my beautiful ravioli all set and ready as I showed you. I made circular ones as well. I have rolling boil water, and I shall add in just a little sprinkle of salt to aggravate the water and to flavor it as well. What all do I need? I need a plate on which I can place these. I need a spider which I can move my ravioli, and I need the ravioli, of course. Now there are chances of these raviolis opening up in the water. That's totally okay. Relax. Even if the water goes, even if the water gets a color, it's okay. You need not worry. It shouldn't happen, but if it does, obviously if you're doing it for the first time, it would be slightly difficult to get the perfect texture. So don't add in a lot at once. Just add in 4 to 6. The water will go a little colorful because of the flour. It needs to be rolling boil water, else you will not get proper cooked ravioli. So how do you know that your ravioli has been cooked and it is not being overcooked? As you see, these raviolis have started floating up on the water. This is one sign that the raviolis are getting cooked. The second sign is the fact that it gets translucent, and as you can see in between, you can see the spinach. So your raviolis are almost ready. We don't want to overcook them. We'll just have them al dente, but they should float completely atop. So give it a minute or two. Usually within 5 minutes they are done if your water is completely hot and rolling boil. As you can see, luckily nothing has come out from the raviolis, touch wood, but it does happen. It has happened to me a couple of times as well, so it won't be surprising. It does happen. If it happens to you, you need not worry. You can remove this batch, start with fresh water. You can continue boiling it in the same water. It's fresh pasta, so you wouldn't like to overcook them. They just cook within 5 to 6 minutes max, and as you can see, all of these are floating pretty well. So I'll just pull them off on the plate now. And see, there we have it. Beautiful ravioli is ready. It definitely takes a little bit of time, but the end result is just amazing. You would enjoy eating this in any sauce you like. You can do an arrabbiata sauce. These go very well with Alfredo white sauce. It just tastes amazing. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Making pasta at home is not difficult at all, and this eggless recipe is so simple to make, and it's a blessing for all us vegetarians who don't prefer eating eggs as well, and also for the people who have egg allergies too. So I hope you guys try it out. As suggested earlier, do tag me on Instagram. My handle is stated below, and I would love to share your stories on my stories as well, and I would love to hear some feedback too. So do comment below. The tip for today is, when making and boiling pasta, you would want to boil the water to an extreme boil. It should be a rolling boil, and you should add salt only once the water has started boiling. The addition of salt really aggravates the water, and it helps the pasta to get the first warmth that's really required in its pot. If you happen to cook your pasta in not so hot water, you would not get the right feel of the pasta. So be sure to boil them in extremely hot water, and also that you make them only until al dente. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe. Thank you so much for viewing. Do like this video and also subscribe to my channel for future vegetarian and eggless recipes.